So while we're on the topic of this offense and on the topic of Ty France going out, we've got a simple question to ask here. A simple question that's going to involve some deep thinking, we believe. Who do you trust in this offense right now?
I had to ask you last night when we were planning this subject out. I'm like, so who do I flat out trust, or who do I trust the most? Because if you notice, there's a different tone in each of those questions. There is either 100% trust or there's levels of trust. And I think we have a kind of a mix of both. I made a list. Let me rank who I trust in this offense the most. I trust the most right now J.P. Crawford. He's heating back up. We saw the 2 home runs in Kansas City, and he's still improving this year. He had his drive line breakout last year, but he's doing things this year that he didn't even do last year. And it's really nice to see for JP with him heating up. So JP's number 1. I have Mitch Garver and his hot streak in the last couple of weeks, number 2. Has it helped that he's gotten back behind the plate? Perhaps, but he's seeing the ball better. He's striking out less, and he's still elevating the ball. Julio Rodriguez is number 3, still hitting too many ground balls. But overall, especially in the month of June and over the last couple of weeks, Julio has been a productive hitter. And then Luke Raley's number 4. The problem is, when I put Luke Raley at 4, he's had a big bunt base hit today on Monday. Does the team even trust his bat fully? Because he's still only platoons. And he's your number 4. My number 4 most trusted bat. So that sort of gives you an insight into what the levels of trust are with individual bats in this offense. Notice some guys I left off this list. Josh Rojas, who had an amazing first month of this season, has cooled off. He's not on this list. Dylan Moore had a really good May, also not on this list. He's really struggled, just went on the paternity list. Cal had his walk-off grand slam tonight, but Cal's been on the struggle bus recently, so I can't say I trust him either. So the list is short.
So we have the exact same ranking 1 through 4. I said JP at 1, Garver at 2, and that's because he's had 10 good games. I guess that's where the offense is right now. Julio's 3. Again, his last couple weeks have been better, like you said. Luke Raley's at 4, but at 4, you're talking about a platoon bat who's had a OPS just above 700 in the last 15 games. That's fine. It's nothing special. A platoon bat that's been a slightly above league average hitter.
He swings and misses. So, he swings and misses so much.
Right.
So much whiff.
Raley had a great month of May. Like, if you look at his last 30 games, he's still got an 821 OPS, but yeah, he's cooled off. So, theme here, like you just said, there's a lot of names we're not mentioning here. Give me one. Give me somebody that's not on this list that pops into your head. Just throw one at me.
Cal Raleigh.
Entering Monday, I did all this entering Monday. Cal Raleigh has a 563 OPS in his last 30 games. He has a 446 OPS in his last 15. That's before the home run tonight, but that's entering Monday here. Give me another name.
Jorge Polanco.
Well, he's been on the IL, but we have detailed at length what his struggles have been. He's not hitting fastballs. He's not hitting period. He's striking out a lot. Yes, he's walking, but all his power numbers are down. So give me another name.
Dom Canzone.
Entering Monday, Dom Canzone has a 374 OPS in his last 15 games. It's not good. He's struggling. He's really struggling. That sucks. Obviously, we're pro Dom Canzone people on this pod, but if you're just looking at the numbers, it's been a struggle. All right, I'll give you the others because I listed out everybody. Mitch Haniger, last 15 games, 594 OPS. Dylan Moore, last 15 games, 418 OPS. Josh Rojas, last 30 games, 486 OPS. Yes, he had a hot start, but it just keeps going and going and going. Now, you can throw in Ryan Bliss and Tyler Locklear. I almost call those guys in a different category because neither of those guys, in my opinion, have had enough at-bats to really say, do we fully trust them or not trust them? They're in kind of the non-applicable category right now. And aside from those two guys, the only names we have not mentioned that are on the active roster so far are Sebi Zavala, Victor Robles, Leo Rivas. And that's your bench right now. So, again,
and you don't trust any of those guys to pinch hit in any situation.
Right. So, again, who do you trust on this offense right now? I think, I think we're in agreement. The one guy you can fully put your belief in right now is JP Crawford. And after that, it gets dicey. You can argue Mitch Garver because his last 10 games or so have been good. You can argue Julio because his last 2 weeks have been better. But, man, it's thin right now. It's really thin.
Even if you just look at, like, since May 1st, the Mariners only have 6 hitters who have a WRC plus above 100. And it's just like, that's not very much. And then you can poke holes in almost all of them. Like Dylan Moore, since June started, has a 16 WRC plus, right? And he, after having a really good month of May, and moved himself up to the 2 hole in the lineup. But this month has a WRC plus of 16, right? And then all these other guys you can poke holes in. And that's why it was so crappy that Ty France went on the injured list when he did, because he would be number 1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
He would be number 1 on that list if he was healthy, because he's proved it. He has proved it over the last couple of months with his, I had the number written down and it disappeared on me, but with his really good month last month, and he's got a 113 WRC plus. So 142 last month, 113 this month. That's who you trust the most. But now he's out for however many weeks. So, man, and it backs up when you watch a game like tonight. Like, seriously, we sit there and we watch this game against Eric Fetty and the White Sox. And you're like, so who's going to come through against this guy? Who do you trust to come through? And we're pretty much sitting waiting for JP Crawford to come back up.
And it's great that Cal came in the clutch tonight. It's great that Haniger had a clutch hit, and it's great that Canzone had the home run. It's good to see guys start to flash a little bit. But if you're taking a larger sample here and you're looking at most of this offense in the last 15 games or the last 30 games, it's not pretty. And I know this feels like a tired conversation because the whole narrative of the Mariners in the first 2.5 months is offense hasn't been there, but it's continuing. So naturally, that's where the conversation continues to go, because there just hasn't been enough. Like, they got to go trade for a bat. And that's not anything groundbreaking either, but they've got to go do it. They got to go get one A-level bat and then another supplementary bat, because there's not enough offense.
No choice. There's no choice. Of
No.
course, unless you're trading Felny and Silson.
Yeah. Well, then we might get cold feet.
Wow.
But yeah, like some of these guys will turn it around. So, Saris wrote an article in The Athletic detailing that Julio and Cal Raleigh both have been a product of some bad luck so far. Now, we know with Julio, he's going to have to elevate the ball. But when Eno talked about it, he was basically outlining how guys that are expected to trend up, who have kind of been on the product of some unfortunate luck, they listed out a handful of guys. Like Manny Machado was on the list. A couple other guys were on the list, Austin Riley, but 2 of the guys on the list were Julio and Cal Raleigh. So, of course, even without Eno writing that article, you'd expect those guys to trend their way up anyway. But it's going to have to be a combination of both. You're going to have to go trade for bats no matter what at this point, but you also need guys in this lineup to really start clicking. Like like Josh Rojas needs to get back on track, and Cal's got to get back on track. And, to get Dom Canzone going again would be great. Like, it's got to be a combination here, because the offense that's showing itself right now, it can't continue, or the Mariners are going to be in trouble.
The untrustworthy offense that scored 27 runs the last 4 games.
Yeah. Yeah. How they did that, I don't know. And I'll tell you what, despite scoring 27 runs in the last 4 games, does it feel like, just off vibes, that they really went 2-2 in those games?
No.
Considering
they probably should have lost all those games.
Considering you got shut out for 7 innings against the White Sox and played maybe the most gut-wrenching game I can remember on Sunday against the Royals. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 2-2.
No, no, it does not.